Hi, my name is Caroline Luby, and I am a rising senior at the University of Notre Dame studying chemical engineering. This summer, I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to participate in a chemical engineering REU at the University of Florida. I was the first REU student ever at the University of Florida to do research on an engineering education topic. I worked with Dr. Cyndia Rivera Jimenez to develop and validate an interview protocol for her project about faculty agency towards change in the chemical engineering curriculum. The overarching research question is, to what extent does a community of practice contribute to faculty's agency to pursue pedagogical changes over time? The theoretical framework is the community of practice and action model. This framework combines a community of practice with the strategic agency framework. In the strategic agency framework, there are 3 steps. There's reflection, strategy, and action, and then it goes back to the beginning. Over time, in the community of practice with the strategic agency framework, this will lead to pedagogical changes in engineering education. Dr. Rivera and I worked together to develop 3 different interview protocols, one for each phase of the strategic agency framework. These interview protocols went through many edits to make sure we were only including the most important, easily understood questions in the final protocols. Then we practiced the interviews with volunteers. Practicing the interviews was one of my favorite parts of the experience. It was really cool to do something that I had never done before and to hear the volunteers' perspectives on our interview questions.
So the first question is, when you hear the phrase social responsibility in engineering, what comes to mind? How did the community of practice influence your choice of your project? How has the community of practice impacted your writing process?
I learned a lot about engineering education research through weekly meetings with other people around the country that were also interested in learning more about engineering education research. None of us had formal training in engineering education, so we were all learning together. In this weekly group, we covered topics like literature reviews, interviewing, and quantitative research analysis. I loved learning about engineering education research with other people and hearing about their research projects. I also began a scoping review this summer that I will continue to work on with Dr. Rivera this fall. These are the 5 steps of a scoping review. So far, we have completed Stage 1 and began Stage 2. The research question of the scoping review is, what is the current landscape of literature about faculty agency and transformational change in engineering education? I am also lucky enough to have the opportunity to attend a conference this fall. I will be attending the NSF Engineering Education and Centers Grantees Conference to present my work from this summer. I am so grateful for my REU experience at UF. Thanks for a great summer.